Okay, you guys, thank you for joining me and welcome to another video of Home and Garden with Nick and this little terror here called Scooter and my shopping trip to my most adorable shop, Padison Yule in Dublin. I cannot believe how amazing the stuff was inside that shop. If you ever come to Dublin, please visit Paddy and Alison at Padison Yule. It was absolutely just magical, and the day that was in it was magical. And of course Nikolai had to spend, and so I'm going to open my box, which was delivered this morning, and I'm going to show you exactly what's in it. And then you're going to come and join me in the kitchen where we're going to make the most absolutely stunning Jamaican ginger cake. And I'm going to read a little bit about that to you just briefly so you get an example of shaping our baking traditions with deeper, darker, more fiery flavors than the lighter English traditional gingerbread. It's the kind of cake that gets better and better day after day. So come now in a few moments and join me in the kitchen where I will make this delicious cake for you. And please do try. But for now, let's get on with opening. Scooter, you're going to help me. So this is from Padison Yule, 14 College Green. College Green is where Trinity College is in Dublin. So if any of you need to know whereabouts the shop is, just ask for Trinity College and you'll see it along that road. It's not far at all. Beautifully boxed and packaged. And oh, I'm super excited. It's like Christmas morning. I shouldn't be opening this, but anyway, I have to show you guys what I purchased. Funny story. Two of these items in here are a present which will be gifted to me on Christmas Eve by my beautiful sister Anita, because I like to buy what I like and she likes to ask me what I'd like for Christmas. So I always choose something and then she gives me the money, whatever I pay for it. And she actually said to me yesterday, when those ugly things arrive, can you text me so that I can come and meet you in Sligo and we can have coffee together and I can give you the money for them. She calls them ugly things. How dare she call them ugly things? Alison, if you're watching, don't listen to my sister Anita. She's got no taste. She'll kill me for saying that. Okay, we're nearly open. Scooter is waiting in anticipation, but I'm sure he thinks there's something sweet and nice. So, these are all our handmade figurines. And I'm just going to show you a couple. So here we've got the most beautiful Rudolph and Santa Claus with his basket of fruit. So you guys, that's just a couple of things in this beautiful box. I've got some extras in here, which you'll have to wait to see in the next video. So let's go now and make that beautiful ginger cake. Caribbean Jamaican ginger cake. What do you reckon, Scoots? Okay. You happy out? So now for that delicious spiced Jamaican ginger cake. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm not going to claim this to be very simple because it's not. It's not the simplest cake in the world, but definitely for those of you that don't like a Christmas cake, that you like the spices and the fragrances of the Christmas cake, but you don't actually like the fruit in the Christmas cake, definitely I recommend this for Christmas. Absolutely. I'm going to have it with Christmas cake. And if you can see in the background, I've got my Christmas puddings steaming away here in the saucepan. So you'll have to excuse the huge saucepan there behind me. Okay, so let me run through with you a little bit what you need. And this cake is going to be in 3 stages. Scooter, be quiet. The first stage is going to be, we're going to get the syrup ready, the rum soaked syrup. And then we're going to make the cake, and then later we'll ice it. It's just a very simple drizzle icing with some lovely crystallized ginger, stem ginger over the top. So, I have made a ginger cake before in the past, and it too was truly delicious. But this has to be a really, really flavorful, spiced Jamaican ginger cake. Very different to our gingerbread that we know here in Ireland and in the UK. This came with the Jamaicans from Windrush. Shortly after Windrush, when they decided to fire everything up and get everything. So I hope I'm going to do all my Jamaican friends out there a massive, massive justice in making this cake, and you're not going to slate me for it. So you need a mixing bowl. You also need a saucepan. You need your 2-pound loaf tin, and I've just lined it with a strip of greaseproof paper. You need a whisk and a spatula. And for the ingredients, you will need, so let's do the syrup first, as we're going to do the syrup first. You will need 150 milliliters of water. You will need 100 mils of dark spiced Jamaican rum. You will need 100 grams of castor sugar, and you need 60 grams of fresh root ginger, which I haven't even peeled because you're going to be straining this afterwards. I've literally just sliced it up so that it can let the flavor out, and then just a little pinch of salt into that. So let's make the syrup first, and then we can do the rest. In goes our water. We're going to bring this up to the boil, and we're going to allow it to boil for 8 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to strain it. So we're going to have a cold syrup. It's going to be cooling while the cake is being made and baking, and we'll have a cool syrup with a hot cake, because that's always the way it goes. Now, in goes our castor sugar. In goes our dark spiced rum. And in goes our freshly chopped ginger. Okay, and we're going to allow that to all come to the boil. It's always lovely when you get those Christmassy smells about the place, especially when you're making your Christmas cake and your Christmas pudding. And this too is going to just fill the house with a lovely Christmassy aroma, because there is some Christmas spices in there. So for the cake, you need 260 grams of plain flour, not self-raising, plain flour. You need 2.5 tablespoons. In this bowl, I have 2.5 tablespoons of ground ginger, powdered ginger. I also have 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, which I just grated a fresh nutmeg myself, and it smells delicious. In this bowl, I have 120 grams each of dark treacle and golden syrup. Let me give you a little tip for the dark treacle. What I did was, because it's so difficult to get it out of the tin, you know, you're trying to make sure it's not going all over the tin, and then you're not looking at the scales when you're weighing it out. So, as I've got my pot of boiling water with my Christmas puddings, I dipped the tin in there for a couple of minutes, and it was lovely and liquidy, and it just went into the bowl very easy. So, that's just a little tip for you. Then, we're going to have 40 grams of fresh ginger, which I've finely grated. So that's fresh ginger, 40 grams finely grated. 115 grams of salted butter, and 115 grams of dark brown sugar. We will need 120 milliliters of boiling water, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, which I've already added to the flour, and a pinch of salt. Let's get our 120 mils of boiling water. And I must tell you, I'm still smiling after our trip to Dublin to the Gaiety Theatre for Beauty and the Beast. It just came into my head that the baddie in the cast towards the end of the show decided to come into the boxes and throw popcorn over all of us. And so it was just great fun. It was very unexpected, and it was a good laugh. So we enjoyed that immensely. Right, so back to the cake. So in our saucepan, first of all, you need to heat your oven. So you want 150 Celsius fan, or I think it's 320 Fahrenheit, but Chris will put that in the link below. So now into our saucepan, we're going to put our butter. We're also going to put our grated ginger, finely grated fresh ginger in there. It smells amazing. Okay, we're also going to put our treacle and golden syrup in there, and we're going to put our brown sugar in there. Okay, and we're going to let that all melt together and heat up, and then we're going to add in our boiling water. Okay, so in our bowl here, we're going to whisk together our dry ingredients. So in goes our flour and our bicarb of soda, and then our spices, our ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And our pinch of salt is all going in there. Okay, that's all our dry ingredients done. And now, in a separate bowl, I'm going to whisk together the 2 eggs with the milk. So, 1, check it's good. And 2. Okay. So they're both good, so I can add one into the other, and then my milk, and I did get a little bit of shell in there, so I'm going to pop pop that out. Okay, and the milk. Okay, and just gives those a little whisk together. Okay, so everything is melted here together. Now I'm going to remove it from the heat and I'm going to stir in the boiling water. And then we're just going to allow that to cool ever so slightly before we add it to our dry ingredients. Okay, so now we are going to whisk in our slightly cooled syrupy mixture into our dry ingredients. Make sure we get all of that out of the pot. Leave that aside and then we'll... Okay, and just give that all a whisk together to combine. Oh my gosh, folks, this really does smell amazing. Okay, and then the next step is we're going to whisk in our egg mix with our milk. That goes in. Isn't that funny? That's what I call karma. The piece of eggshell that just wouldn't come out of the bowl for me is stuck inside the bowl. How funny is that? Okay, so that's all whisked in. Now, here I have stem ginger. I did 6 tablespoons. I'm going to use 3 in the cake mixture, and then I'm going to reserve the other 3 tablespoons for sprinkling over the top of the cake. So I'm literally going to divide that in half. Okay. And just fold that in. Or whisk it in, should I say? And that, folks, is your cake mixture ready to go into your lined tin. That's going to bake for an hour. And we'll check it in an hour and just insert our skewer to make sure it is cooked. Oh, I'm so excited for Christmas, I can't wait. I'm getting all confused now, so concentrate, Nikolai. See, Santa's coming and now I'm getting too excited. So here we go. Into our cake tin it's going. And it is a very liquidy mixture, so don't worry about that. It's a very wet mix. Just make sure you get it all out of the bowl. But I better leave a little bit for Carmelo to lick the bowl. What do you think, Carmelo? Yes or no, Carmelo? He's nodding. Oh, there. Carmelo is filming me today because Chris is in London due to arrive back home next week. Okay, so that's a little bit left in the bowl for Carmelo. So this is going into the oven now, and pop back later where we'll then be pouring our rum syrup over the top, letting that cool completely in the tin before we ice it. Okay, so the cake is minutes away from being cooked. So I have the syrup ready and I'm going to be doing that in a second. But meanwhile, I'm going to make the icing. We're not going to put it on yet. Cake has to cool completely. So in my bowl here, I have 100 grams of sieved icing sugar. Please, folks, always sieve your icing sugar when you're making an icing. And in that, I've also sieved in a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. Half a teaspoon. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add some cold milk, around about 2 tablespoons, but you make it to the consistency that it's going to sort of be able to hold on the cake. So you're not looking for anything too watered down. So, but not thick either, that you can't spread it. It doesn't matter if it trickles a little bit down the side of the cake. That all adds to the effect. So it's definitely not wet enough. Oh, I think that might be a little bit too much, Nikolai. No, I managed to swig that one. Okay. It's probably not the best bowl to mix my icing in, but it was the first thing I grabbed. Okay. It's actually a nice creamy color as opposed to white. I think that's the ginger must be giving it that nice color. Okay, I think that's just about there. I'll leave that now and go and retrieve the cake, which absolutely, I have to tell you, smells divine. Okay, so the cake is out of the oven. Looks delicious, smells delicious, and now I'm just going to prick it all over with my skewer. And then I'm going to drizzle my cold syrup over the top. You want to just try and get it into those little holes slowly, nice and slowly, because if you do it too quickly, it'll just all run off the top of the cake down the sides, and you'll have wet sides and a dry middle, which you don't want. Okay, you guys, so the cake is completely cold, and I have to say I have tasted a little bit out of the pan, and it's absolutely amazing. Sticky, hot, fiery, and wonderful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drizzle over my lovely icing. We can use all of it. We don't need to be shy. We can make a nice design. Nice crisscross pattern. Last little bit. Joyous icing. And actually I didn't taste the icing, which I should have done, but I will. Better leave a bit for whoever's doing the washing up, Carmelo in this case. Okay, so now we've done the icing. Let's get our stem ginger and let's just run a layer of this all across the center. So everybody gets a little bit of that fiery, spicy stem ginger. And now for the taste test. Let's cut a slice of this beautiful. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. Beautifully moist, sticky ginger. Jamaican ginger, Caribbean. Oh my God. Let's try again. Oh my God. Even Scooter, who hasn't tasted it, knows how good it is. Guys, please. Make this cake for Christmas. Inspire everyone. To all my Caribbean friends out there, I wish you a very, very, very happy Christmas, happy holidays, whatever it is for you. And thank you for bringing us this amazing recipe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon for another video of Home and Garden with Nick, and see what that Scooter Boy's antics get up to. Sweet.